Meet Howard. Howard needs a little Beverly in his life. Hell, I need a little of anybody that wants to fuck me in my life. Shit! I'm angry, so fucking angry. I'm angry, I'm angry. I'm pissed off, yes, I'm pissed off. It's the Angry Movie Nerd Show.
Oh, thank you. So sweet, Naomi. Avez-vous una cigarette?
Don't you want to eat me?
Well.
Oh, didn't know you was there. Welcome to another episode of the Angry Movie Nerd. Today I'm going to actually talk about a good movie that gets a lot of bad rap. Gets a bad rap. Supposedly in 1986, George Lucas made this little movie called Howard the Duck. Supposedly it was a flop. Leonard Maltin gave it a big goose egg. But let's break this down. This will probably be the longest Angry Movie Nerd episode to date. Because I fucking love Howard the Duck. What's the fucking deal with people hating on Howard the Duck? For people that haven't seen it, it's based on a 1970s Marvel comic. Pretty much the plot of the movie is there's this duck world and Howard's just sitting there drinking his beer, looking at his play duck. Next thing you know, he flies through the apartment building, busting through walls. You see some duck titties, and pretty much after that we get this voiceover that what's reality on any one world could be mere fantasy on all others. Well, needless to say, he ends up in Cleveland, is how he says it, Cleveland, Ohio. Well, there he meets this girl named Beverly, and the comic book, her name was Beverly Schweitzer, I believe. And she, she's getting all accosted by these pretty much drug addict, hipped up guys that are looking for a piece of ass, pretty much. So Howard gets tired of hiding in the garbage can. He's like, no more Mr. Nice Duck. Then he jumps up and pulls like a Bruce fucking Lee, kicks him upside the fucking head and saves her ass. Needless to say, that's the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Okay, now let's break this motherfucker down. Score by John Barry. Fucking fantastic. John Barry's score was fantastic in this movie. Thomas Dolby helped do the soundtrack to it. He was famous for helping with the Cherry Bomb song of Howard the Duck. Calling Howard the Duck. Yeah. 80s glory at its best. Anyway, though, before Howard ends up in the garbage can, I mean, he gets in trouble for pretty much putting his hand on this chick's leg who's making out with her boyfriend. About gets his ass kicked. Gets somehow on the front of Satan Slut's biker bitch's motorcycle. And stuff like that. And yeah, pretty much him and Beverly have probably borderline bestiality relationship. That was another thing that people hated, the critics hated. Yeah, oh man, she was gonna fuck the duck. give a fuck to the duck. Yeah, she was going to do it. I mean, she asked him, is it true that she might find love in the animal kingdom? And he says, love's strange. But considering that she pulled a rubber out of his billfold and the rubber wasn't no bigger around in that pinky, he's not duck enough for her. Now me, I'm man enough for that bitch. But yeah, regardless, it turns out the way that he got to Earth was that Jeffrey Jones, who plays the character Dr. Jennings in the movie, had this machine, you know, trying to pull things from other planets, and supposedly the beam hit Howard's planet and yanked him through space. Well, needless to say, something else got brought down. I'm talking about this thing, man. It was a monster. A big fucking monster. It was worse than a woman on her 3-day period, I'm telling you. It wanted to bite your fucking head off. That's how big the thing was. It had like these pinchers in its mouth and shit. Kind of reminds you of the alien fucking the Predator or some shit. The special effects were by Industrial Light and Magic. They did some pretty good special effects for it coming out in 1986, you know. I mean, the effects in this movie pretty much bordered on, hey, Star Wars, if it was made in the later 80s, could turn out real good. Oh yeah, and of course, you know, it just had to be good. And in case you're wondering what I'm drinking, I can't tell you. I can't put product placement in my videos. But I'll tell you one thing. It rhymes with Mepsi. Anyway, the way this shit goes, you know, Dr. Jennings tells him he can pretty much send him back to his planet. But it's a little too fucking late for Howard, because he ain't going home, I don't think. Because just so happens that a dark overlord of the universe gets into Dr. Jennings' body, and Dr. Jennings is like, oh man, I'm changing from the inside. And Howard, he's a one-liner dude. He says, oh, like a sex change or something, yeah. Anyway, this movie, I don't know how you would categorize it. It has elements of sci-fi, elements of horror, elements of comedy, elements of drama, elements of romance. It has all this shit. And I just don't know what you would categorize that movie in, but I mean, it's pretty good. But anyway, Dark Overlord gets into Jennings' body. Jennings is pretty much changing. Yeah, like a sex change, as Howard said. But needless to say, there's a big battle in a diner. Howard almost ends up as Duck Flambe. Jennings steals this big 18-wheeler without the trailer and kidnaps Bev, and he's got to find power. Which brings us to one of the scariest scenes if you watch this movie as a child. When Jennings needed power and this big long tentacle tongue, bigger than John Holmes Pecker, came out of his mouth and went into the damn cigarette lighter. But yeah, as you can tell, I'm trying to change the scenery a little bit. So these... Where in the fuck is my lighter? Ah, fuck. All the way over here. I could have swore I just had it a while ago. Blooper reel! Blooper reel! No, I'm leaving that in the fucking video because that makes it more funnier if you see the bloopers in real time. But another thing you'll notice that the angry movie nerd does a lot of, he smokes cigarettes. I will review any movie you want me to. If you give me the movie, I'll tell you what I think of it for a pack of cigarettes. That's how cheap I am. But anyway, Needless to say, there's this guy in the movie played by Tim Robbins. His name is Phil. But Howard likes to call him Philzy. And Bev, earlier in the movie, takes him to Philzy to see if Philzy might can get him home. Well, needless to say, after Bev's kidnapped, Philzy and Howard have to team up. And when they team up, they get this airplane thing, and Howard's flying. And another thing, Howard can't swim. He's a fucking duck, but he cannot swim. That is one thing I hated about this movie. That's one thing that made me fucking angry. You're a fucking duck. Why can't you fucking swim? That's one thing that I hated about the movie. Is the fact that he was a fucking duck and couldn't swim. But I'm going to try not to get too angry at this movie because I really enjoy it. You can see the look on my face how much I enjoy this movie. But, needless to say, he teams up with Philzy, got the fucking cops like shooting at him and shit, and trying to kill him, and they get back to the lab, and Dr. Jennings has Bev all tied down on this table, and I'm like, damn, Dr. Jennings, why you have to tie her up? Damn. She don't want to give you no pussy, you sure ain't going to take it. But needless to say, he's not trying to get any pussy, he's just trying to, he's just trying to put some of his buddies into her body because apparently a dark overlord can only grow inside a human host. Which sounds kind of gross, but anyway. At this time, Dr. Jennings is pretty much, his body, his face is all fucked up and shit. But Howard gets this neutron laser, I believe was the name of the device, and attaches it to this like golf cart type thing. And then you got a scene that's reminiscent of the old Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And he's like, Dark Overlord, I want you! And Dark Overlord spits and shit, and he spits acid and all that. But needless to say, when he hits the Dark Overlord with the neutron laser thingamajig, the Dark Overlord comes out of Jennings' body and they think it's all over. Nope, they were wrong. You got something that's fucking uglier than the Rancor from Return of the Jedi trying to kill Howard. Got these tentacles that shoot out of its mouth, grab Howard, and Jennings throws him like this circular saw thing. He cuts it off and all this shit. And, well, needless to say, after the Dark Overlord is defeated, Howard realizes that he's never getting back home because Jennings, while he was still in, well, the Dark Overlord, but he was still in Jennings' form or whatever, he put in the coordinates and he was calling down more of his fucking buddies. So Howard has to destroy the machine and he's never going to get home. So needless to say, there's a big explosion and Bev thinks Howard's dead, but he's not. And then we get to the final scene of the movie where Howard is on stage with the band the Cherry Bombs, which I think I forgot to mention that. Bev's in a band called the Cherry Bombs. It's all chicks and shit. And he becomes the new manager. Because earlier in the movie, the manager, Ginger, was treating the girls wrong, and Howard pretty much said he was going to bite his face and give him space rabies. And Ginger asks his buddy, says, is that a real thing? And his buddy goes, I don't know, Ginger, it was on the news. Yeah. And this movie, I mean, I don't know why people give it such a bad rap. I happen to think it was a pretty good movie. Urban legend has it that George Lucas wanted to hunt down every copy of this movie and burn them. I don't mean burn them to a DVD to give to your buddies. I mean he wanted to burn them, literally burn them with fire. He wanted to kill it with fire. But explain to me how a movie that supposedly was the biggest flop in movie history, having a humongous budget, but yet did not do good at the theater or nothing, but explain how, if the movie is that bad, how come people still talk about it today? Was it the duck titties? Was it the tongue coming out into the cigarette lighter? I mean, why do people like Howard the Duck today? I will tell you why people like Howard the Duck today. I was about 7 years old when I seen Howard the Duck. That movie was ahead of its time. I mean, and it was pretty much the first comic book based movie ever made. And while a lot of people will hate it, it had a lot going for it. Of course, it was a guy in a suit played by Ed Gale. Ed Gale, what can I say about Ed Gale? Ed Gale played in the first Child's Play when Chucky would have to do stuff that the puppet couldn't do. They put Ed Gale in the Chucky makeup. But you know, Ed Gale probably has more notoriety as being Howard the Duck as being Chucky in almost all the Child's Play movies. Ed Gale, I mean, everybody knows Warwick Davis was the Ewok, Wicked in Return of the Jedi and Leprechaun, all that shit. But I think Ed Gale deserves the notoriety of being Howard the Duck. Because regardless if you're a Star Wars fan or a Leprechaun fan, yeah, Warwick Davis is good. But, I'll tell you one thing, Ed Gale deserves some fucking recognition. And Ed Gale, if you watch this video, say you're on YouTube or something, you're bored and you're like checking out videos, I'd like you to drop me a line or a comment on this because you were part of my childhood, and the way you played Howard the Duck, man, I applaud you. Howard the Duck, greatest movie, 80s movie in my opinion. Well, no, I take that back. That's one of the greatest 80s movies in my opinion. Anybody that knows me knows my favorite 80s movie. If you want to play a game of Jeopardy, I'll sit here for about 5-10 seconds and let's see if you can guess my favorite 80s movie. You can leave it in the comments. Okay, I just look like a dumbass sitting there, like it had the Jeopardy music playing into my head. Okay, what's my favorite 80s movie? I'm going to tell you. I can give you a line from my favorite 80s movie, and let's see if you got it. But it don't count. See, that's the thing about this. I'm posting this video. I don't know if you watched the video and skip forward to the answer. But everybody that knows me, the angry movie nerd, knows that my favorite 80s movie is Hey You Guys! Yeah, Goonies. Goonies is my favorite 80s movie. But, yeah, I mean, Howard the Duck, man. Good soundtrack. Good movie. Another thing I hated is I think they should have rated this movie R and showed some Leah Thompson titties. Oh my God, when she was in that little pink outfit, laying in that little pink pair of panties. Oh man. I was like Mr. Woodchuck from Full House. Is that boner made of wood? No, I don't know. But, anyway, yeah, if you get a chance, check it out. Check it out. Really good movie. It did not get the recognition. Well, I can't speak proper English. I'm from Knott County, but it did not get the recognition that the movie deserved. That movie should have been an instant fucking classic. That movie should have been up there with like Shawshank Redemption and Forrest Gump and fucking The Green Mile. They should have did a crossover of Howard the Duck and Green Mile. Where Howard was talking to Big John Coffey and John Coffey said, "Take my hand, boss." That would have been a great movie. There was talks about George Lucas wanting to take the movie, you know, like I said earlier, and burn it, destroy the copies. But I've also heard talks of that George Lucas wanted to redo it, but take out the Ed Gale in the outfit and do a CGI version. Which I don't think it would be as great, but I mean, I would watch it just to see how shitty it really is. let's see, let me think here. Anyway, I have some requests for some more reviews. I'm going to try to get to those as quickly as I can. I just wanted to lay this one down because it's like about 1 in the morning or some shit and I'm bored. And I know this movie I could talk about for a while. I think I've been talking about it for a good 18 minutes now or something. So it's probably like the longest video in what I'm calling the first season of Angry Video Game Nerd. Angry Video Game Nerd, what in the fuck? I've got James Roth on my brain. I have like totally been sitting for the past 3 or 4 days watching every video that the Angry Video Game Nerd has made. James Roth, he's my fucking hero. James Roth. He makes fun of these old video games. You get a chance, check him out. I like his shit, man. I like his shit. I just wish I could make my shit look as good as he can make his shit look. But I'm working with a limited budget. I'm working with a standard camera. If I had more than one camera, I could do different angles. The way I'm doing this is I've got a standalone DVD recorder. I'm putting my camera directly into it, and I'm recording on tape at the same time. Because apparently that's the only way that this damn camera will not turn off. But I'm trying to give you the best quality episodes I can. But for a standard definition Sony Handycam, you can't expect much. If I had more money, I probably could do something better. But anyway, Howard the Duck. I give this movie 5 stars. This movie deserved more recognition than it got. And I know I've droned on and droned on and droned on and got off subject. But I just want to send a shout out to 2 of my fans, I guess you would call it. Bobby Bates and Josh Ambergy. I guess they're my fans. They've been throwing some good ideas at me for movies to review and giving me some constructive criticism. So while this video was just a reaction video where I didn't actually show any scenes from the movie, I'm going to throw in the trailer for Howard the Duck at the end, or I'll post a link on the YouTube video to where you can watch the trailer for it. And coming soon, hopefully it won't take me forever to do these, but I mean, pretty much I've been jerking these out my ass for like the past 2 or 3 days, and this will make episode 5 in the new series. I made like a little intro for the show that's going to be used for the meantime, but I have somebody in the process. We just have to get together and do it. We're going to make a new intro for the show, and I'm going to do a little singing work and try to work on the theme song. I mean, I like the theme song for the intro as of right now, but I'm going to try to make a better intro for the show. And pretty much, if I had the equipment, this is a call out there. If anybody wants to help with the show, whether it be do some editing work, maybe put some music in the background, write some music for the show and all that. I mean, it's kind of hard for me to do the music aspect of the show, so that therefore all I can do is this for the time being. Hopefully by the time second season of the show rolls around, which I'm hoping to start around October, hoping that I'll have this season in the bag. I'm just trying to get out there where people will know who I am. Thinking about creating an Angry Movie Nerd Facebook page. Maybe you can share it with your friends. But other than that, I'm the Angry Movie Nerd, and I guess that's all I can say about this movie. While it's not a piece of shit and why I didn't get too angry, I'll never know. But Howard the Duck has a special place in my heart. Howard the Duck, one of the greatest movies ever made, in my opinion. What more can I say? Other than it's time to go bye-bye.